दुर्मेधा
धृति स पार्थ तामसी
धृतिः सा पार्थ तामसी
यया स्वप्नं भयं शोकं
जया स्वप्नं भयं शोकं
विषादं मदमेव च
विषादं मदमेव च
न विमुञ्चति दुर्मेधा
न
विमुञ्चति
विमुञ्चति दुर्मेधा
धृतिः सा पार्थ तामसी
धृति सा
धृतिः सा
पार्थ
पार्थ तामसी
Prabhuji.
यया स्वप्नं भयं शोकं
यया स्वप्नं भयं शोकं
विषादं मदमेव च
विषादं मदम् एव च
न विमुञ्चति दुर्मेधा
न विमुञ्चति
मुञ्चति
दुर्मेधा
दुर्मेधा
रतिः सा पार्थ तामसी
धृति सा
धृतिः सा
पार्थ
पार्थ
तामसी
तामसी
Right. Thank you very much for participating in the recitation of this verse. Let's go word by word meaning. Please repeat after me. Yaya,
यया
by which,
by
which
swapnam,
स्वप्नं
dreaming,
dreaming
bhayam,
भयं
fearfulness,
fearfulness
shokam,
शोकं
lamentation,
lamentation
vishadham,
विषादं
roseness,
moroseness
madham,
मदं
elation,
लुज
eva,
एव
certainly,
certainly
cha,
च
also,
also
na,
न
eva,
never
vimunchati,
vimunchati
one gives up,
one gives up
durmedha,
durmedha
unintelligent,
unintelligent
dhritihi,
dhritihi termination
ta,
ta
that,
that
partha,
partha
O son of Pritha,
O son of Pritha
tamasi,
tamasi
in the mode of ignorance.
in the mode of ignorance.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Sri Venkateshwara Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
And the determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion. Such unintelligent determination, O son of Pritha, is in the mode of darkness. Purport. It should not be concluded that a person in the mode of goodness does not dream. Here, dream means too much sleep. Dreaming is always present, either in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. Dreaming is a natural occurrence. But those who cannot avoid oversleeping, who cannot avoid the pride of enjoying material objects, who are always dreaming of lording it over the material world, and whose life, mind, and senses are thus engaged, are considered to have determination in the mode of ignorance. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you all, dear devotees, for participating in the recitation of the verse and participating in today's Bhagavad Gita class. So This is a section where we are in the 18th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is the final chapter. This chapter is divided into multiple parts. This is one of the largest chapters in Srimad Bhagavad Gita in terms of number of verses we have, right? So that being said, we are almost in the middle of the section where this section on a broader level belongs to the verses from 18 to 40, verses 18 to 40. I can see that Lord is categorizing our activities, different activities, into the modes of nature, right? We have three modes: mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. And Lord is mercifully categorizing our activities, daily activities, into these modes, into these three modes. So what are the activities is categorizing? From verses 20 to 22, he's categorizing the knowledge in three modes. Then he categorizes work in three modes. Then he categorizes worker, the karta, in three modes. And he categorizes buddhi, or the intelligence, in three modes. Now the section where we are is these three verses 33 to 35, right? Lord is categorizing these three verses, categorizing the determination of this living entity into three modes. So the verse 33, Lord has categorized, if we can go back and see here, the determination in the mode of goodness, right? Verse 33. Right, okay. So in this verse, Krishna says that, O son of Pritha, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and which thus controls activities of the mind, life, and senses, it is determination in the mode of goodness, right? So I'm checking my references here. Yeah, unbreakable, sustained by yoga practice, controls the activities of the mind, life, and senses. This is the mode of the determination is in the mode of goodness. And the second one, the mode of passion, the determination in the mode of passion is, but the determination by which one holds fast to fruitive results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is of nature of passion, or Archana, right? Determination in the mode of passion, where we try to achieve the material benefit with that determination. That is in mode of passion. Which is the one which is in mode of ignorance? That is today's verse. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam madham evacha na vimunchati durmedha dhritissa partha thamasi. Krishna, when he explains the verses, is very specific. He's not going to leave for us to assume or go for our assumption or mental speculation to creep into his words. He clearly mentions that the thoughts whichever brings, the determination whichever brings these things, bhayam shokam vishadam madham, four things he says. Swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam and madham, five things. If these five things creep in, or the result of the determination is these five things, that means that determination is in the mode of ignorance. I was thinking, determination is supposed to be a positive word. All my life, I heard the have a determination to achieve this, have determination to perform this, have determination to get a success in certain level, right? But why? My question was, how can this determination be used as a negative word? We're talking about bhayam shokam vishadam madham, swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam madham. So the other meaning of the determination is holding upon to something stubbornly. You know what I mean? If we hold something upon to something, that is called a determination. If we hold something stubbornly without a cause, without a reason, without a good result, or without any good expectation from that activity, then that is also a determination, but that is in the determination in the mode of ignorance. So that is what Krishna wants to tell us here, right? Determination in a negative way is like basically I want to quote an example by His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. He mentions that, let's say you are in the well, we are in the well, okay, and someone drops a rope, and that rope is sharp, right? We're trying to hold that rope tight to come. There someone told that, okay, you are in the well, I'm throwing the rope. That rope is made up of hard, whatever the hard material, and that rope is very, very painful to hold tight for longer time, but you still hold to it, right? Because you have a hope. The result of that holding tight to that rope is good thing. You're coming out of the well. Okay. So that is a determination in goodness. But if the same person, if the same family, or the same person or one of us in the home, we tie a rope to the ceiling, we're on the floor, and we tie a rope to the ceiling or roof of the house, and we're trying to hold to it unnecessarily, not tight, and trying to hold it tight unnecessarily. Like, what is the purpose of it? The action is same. The action what we were performing when we were in the well, and when we're at home, the action is same. But the action which is performed for a better result, for a good result, is in the mode of goodness. This determination, the determination to hold it tight is there. So the determination is good, is in mode of goodness when it has a good purpose to come out or come out of the well. But when you are home, there is no point. Why do we have to stick? Why do we have to stay to that? Why do we have to hold to that rope tight unnecessarily? When you're home, you don't need to hold it. There is no reason. There is no requirement to hold tight that rope inside the home unnecessarily and hanging, sitting there like that. So now, what makes us feel these things? Like, what makes us, when you're at home, we make stupid of ourselves, right? Think about that. You're at home, you don't need any reason to hold a rope, but you're just holding the rope without a reason. There is no reason. So who makes you to do that act, that stupid act, that activity which doesn't result in any good way? So who makes us to do that? If you think about it, it is mind. It is our mind, right? Our mind says, okay, let's stick to it. This way, mind tricks us to do so many things. So this chapter, Krishna mentioned this verse. Krishna mentions, Lord mentions that Swapnam, Bhayam, Shokam, Vishadam, Madam. All the 5 elements mentioned here are the creation of mind. Right? So Swapnam, dreaming. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, dreaming is not bad. Dreaming is not only in mode of ignorance. Dreaming can be in the mode of goodness, mode of passion, but it can be in the mode of ignorance also. But the dreaming which will not have any result, the dreaming which will not have an action for it, right? I dream to become the president of America. Nothing wrong. Is it wrong thing? No. I dream to become the president of America. But what kind of action items are we taking to become to go to that level? What is my action items? Did I perform any homework? Did I do anything? What kind of preparation I have to reach to that level? Right? You understand what I'm saying is, right? The difference between the dreaming in the mode of goodness and dreaming in the mode of ignorance. If I want to achieve something, if I dream about becoming, we all saw these Oscars, Oscars happened just this weekend. There were some winners of the Oscars. They were quoting that, don't forget, or don't no, their advice was dream big, and make sure that you follow the dream. Or now you can achieve the dream. Just don't give up on your dreams. That was on a higher level. That was the suggestion they were presenting. I was thinking about it. Like, what do they mean by dream? What do you mean by dreaming? Dreaming itself is not going to help you. Dreaming with an action to it will help, right? So the dreaming here means daydreaming in the mode of ignorance. If you don't have an action item after about something, that is
Hare Krishna.
called as Hare Krishna, mute. That is called as daydreaming or the dreaming without action. Okay, that is the dreaming that which will fall under the mode of ignorance. Okay, so that is swapnam. What is bhayam? Bhayam is fear. Okay, bhayam is fear. Fear of what? There are two things here, bhayam and shokam. Do you see these two things? Bhayam is fear, shokam is grief. Bhayam is fear of future, shokam is fear of past. Shokam is misery because of the past. So these are past and present. Sorry, past and future. So we are doing something. We are fearful of the future, and shokam we are fearful of the past which happened. Now you're grieving about what happened before. Okay, so this bhayam, which is fearful or fear, is because our mind exaggerates the things. There is a term called as alarmist. Did you ever hear about the word called as alarmist? Alarmist is a typical person or a kind of person who thinks about things that something bad will happen at every moment. Please try to understand this point here. If I take a flight, maybe the flight will, maybe the flight will crash. That kind of fear. If I drive a long distance, maybe I may get into an accident. That fear, right? So this is that didn't happen yet. Please understand this. That action or that result has not happened, but the mind keeps pushing those thoughts into you. That bhayam, fear. It generates that fear, which is not required, which is not there, which has not even happened. Does that mean we become reckless? We don't think about what's going to happen? No. There are two extremes. Fear, unnecessary fear, and recklessness are two extremes, two sides. Okay, we should have a balance. So how do we have a balance is very important. So the fear which we are creating in our mind, or the mind pushes the thoughts to us, right? Those thoughts to us. So there are so many, there are so many courses they are there, for the people like that, to help them get out of this thing. The first thing what they say is have a journal for yourself. Write down what are your fears. When that fearful thought is coming out, just write down. Okay, if I travel in the flight, that may crash. Okay, write it down. If I go in a long drive, that may happen. If I die tomorrow, what happens to my family? Write it down. If I can't do this will happen. If I lose a job, recession is coming, I may lose a job. Okay, write it down. Leave it out. Take some time, gap, and come back and think. Go back and have a list of everything. Okay, this is the list you prepared. Now we go through one by one. Okay, is this fear which my mind is pushing to me, is it really real? We have to analyze that. Is it really real? Okay, there are chances of it happening. What is your action item? What are you going to do about that? What will happen? See, if it is real, and if it's not, if there is a chance of that fear becoming reality, what is the action item you have for that? Write it down next to it. Okay, if the plane crashes, okay, I have something, I have insurance, I have this, I have that, so I'm okay. If accident happens, at least I have the insurance covered, this here, there, some money here, there, something happened, okay, you write it down. So this way, you list out all the fears, you list out all the solutions, action items. Like if I lose a job, okay, I have some Mayday savings or something like that. No? Next time when the mind pushes you, don't pay attention to that mind. You say that, okay, I have a solution for that. I have a reason, I have a solution, I know how to get out of that if that happens. So that way, you are not coming under the influence of your mind's torture of sending those items which are not helping you anywhere. Most of the people, they just get frightened before even starting our sorry, before even starting anything. With that fear only, they just get involved into that. Mind tortures them or puts them into such a level that they stop performing action at all. They stop performing or acting or taking any action at all, because that mind takes them to that depth that they can't do anything. But in reality, this is the mind which tricks us. Okay. 1 second, please. So that is bhayam, which is going to happen in future. Shokam is grief. Grief is from the past. Something has happened and you are grieving about it. I should have been born in a Bill Gates family. Then I would not have to do this day-to-day job. You cannot grieve about that, right? So the things has happened. We cannot think about it. We cannot. That has happened. It doesn't mean that we grieve about them, keep grieving about them, and that may become a block for our next present state. So let's keep it aside. Okay, that happened. What should I do? What did I do? Take a lesson from there. Write it down. Okay, this happened. I got fired. So what did you do for it? What was the reason? What is your future steps? What do you have to do? So these are the steps. We have to write it down. We have to make sure that this mind's tricks doesn't influence you. We have to do that. If not, we'll stay there only. We cannot progress in this present state, right? So when the mind is tricking you through these different activities, these activities, they fall under the mode of ignorance. The person will fall under the mode of ignorance. Okay. In a similar way, Vishadam. So Vishadam is moroseness, and Madam is so when you have all this Nam, Bhayam, Shokam, and Vishadam, then what would people do? They get intoxicated. What do they do? They go for drugs. Right? Take drugs and you forget the thoughts that were pressing on the mind. The mind is pushing these thoughts to you, and you forget those thoughts because of this intoxication. You go to you become a drunkard, you become drug addict, you get out of this thought. Okay, so this is whenever one is influenced by this swapnam, bhayam, shokam, vishadam, and madam, so these are called as mode of ignorance. Okay, navimunchati durmeda. Navimunchati, you are not unable to get out of it. You cannot give up these thoughts. I gave you the solutions, but that unintelligent durmeda. Krishna is calling that person as durmeda because it's unintelligent. You have to use your intelligence to get out of these things. Navimucha, they cannot give up. That kind of determination, dritihi, O Partha, is in the mode of ignorance. Tamasi, in the mode of ignorance. Please remember this word yaya explains which. So, and the sa, this is like a call and response. Okay, yaya, whichever the qualities, and that sa, that quality is called as tamasi, call and response thing, right? Yaya sa. So this is, I'm just pointing out the Sanskrit here. So yaya, whatever the activities, and that activities, sa is that. Look at this, sa, yeah, sa is that. So Srila Prabhupada translates it to that. So yaya, whichever, by which, and that sa is that. Okay, that all these activities which a person who cannot come out of vimunchati durmeda, an intelligent person who cannot come out of it or gives up or get entangled into these activities, and that kind of determination. And again, I'm telling you, determination is I was thinking it's a positive word, but it can also be used as a basically the definition of determination is like holding upon to something. It can be good thing, bad thing. Okay, but when you are holding up onto these things which are swapnam, bhayam, shokam, vishadam, madam, then that kind of determination is tamasi, is in a mode of ignorance. Okay, now swapnam, daydreaming. I want to give an example, right? So Duryodhan, when he was yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can give that swapnam daydreaming example for Duryodhan there. Any example you think about swapnam, daydreaming from the scriptures? Any of you? Daydreaming, which is not useful.
Prabhu, Shakuntala was daydreaming, right? And she got cursed.
That's a good example, Mataji. But Shakuntala was that daydreaming is not the daydreaming we are talking about, I think. Because that daydreaming, she was thinking about Dushyanta, right? Dushant.
Yeah.
That's a love she had for him, and that's a different, Mataji. The daydreaming is like the dreaming which we do without any action. We want to achieve something, but we don't have an action item for it. You know what I mean? So we're not working to get into that, but we dream about it. Like as an example, I said, like, I want to become a president of America, but what is my action item? I don't have an action item. My mind says, hey, you have to be the president of this. You have to be the richest guy in the world. But what is the action item? What am I doing for that? So there is no action item for that, right? So that is the daydreaming we're talking about.
Also, you're saying you're just dreaming without having any action item to get to the goal.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah. So we have mind is saying to dream. You want to achieve something, but you don't have an action item for that. Good. Thank you for sharing that, Mataji. Anyway. Okay. I am also not recollecting anything. Let's see. Bhayam. Fear. An example of fear.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, it is a daily element, Prabhu. Everyone, tons of fear is there for sure, without unknowingly. So yeah, definitely the source of fear is ignorance. So fears classified in a lot of categories. So 100 of categories are there. But as Vivekananda said, the fear person die for every minute. So do not fear, be always fearless. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, how we avoid the fearfulness, fearness is by following instructions of Krishna. So he is in our past, he is in our present, he is in our future, and he is in our next life. No need to fear for anything, definitely. So we are in a small dot of Earth, so from the galaxy. So he's maintaining millions of galaxies like this. Just we are sitting in a small dot. So on top, Krishna is there, definitely. If we have that much commitment and dedication, determination, there is no fear at all at any point of time in our life. So yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, do you have an example from the Shastras of daydreaming? That's what Prabhu was asking.
Okay, daydreaming actually, maybe daydreaming.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Fear. Sorry, daydreaming we covered. Gokul Priya Mata gave an example.
So, yeah,
but
maybe
fear,
I'm not able to answer exact question. Maybe yeah, dreams definitely. I got a lot of dreams. Sometimes Krishna also come into my dreams, and one time Hanuma came into my dream and he asked me to pay monthly maintenance to the temple. So I'm paying. I taken commitment from Hanuma and paying a monthly salary to priest and the worker. So for me, maybe I'm not able to answer exact question, but
Yeah, the dream you're talking about is transcendental. Okay.
Transcendental, correct,
Not
Prabhu.
something-
So,
That is, we cannot get that dream here. This is Swapnam, what we dream, what we are
Swapnam.
is a daydreaming,
Mm-hmm.
which is completely different. I mean, transcendental dreams are there, they're different, they're connecting to the
Mm-hmm.
Krishna portion, that's different. But Swapnam here is is a daydreaming. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
as I said, a dream. We want to achieve something, but we don't have like, you know, I want to be the best devotee. I
Mm-hmm.
want to wake up early in the morning, but you don't take actions for that. Like, what is the action? Like, you know, I don't have action for it. I sleep late. If you want to wake up early, you have to sleep early,
Yeah.
right? If you want to sleep like wake up early, but you sleep like 12 o'clock, it's not going to work like that.
Agreed.
So,
For me, actually, truly speaking, if I do 16 rounds of japa, or sometimes I listen morning to evening kirtana, so automatically I will wake up without any thing. So that is a practical thing I noticed, observed in my experience. Maybe I can learn from devotees also. So yeah, thank you.
thank you, Prabhu, for sharing.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, for Bhayam, one example I can think of, I might be wrong, you can correct me. I can think of Kansa. Like Kansa was always fearful that he may die after the Akashvani, the heavenly like announcement which took place. So that's why, because of that fear, made him imprison Devki as well as Vasudev. And when the Krishna was born, Krishna was there. He kept on sending different asuras to kill him. So like his all the actions were of the fearfulness. I can think of Kansa.
A beautiful example, Prabhuji. Beautiful. So you're Rahul Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Yes,
I haven't met you. So will do you come to temple?
Prabhuji. I come almost once in a month. I'm not
Oh,
very regular.
okay, Prabhuji. Very good example. Nice example. Yeah, I was nice example. So yes, that say the Kansa was after the Akashvani, that saying, he got very frightened, and he took so many actions to correct it, unnecessary actions. Okay. But at the same time, same Kansa, he was fearful about Krishna killing him. Okay, I was thinking that also. When the same Kansa was thinking about Krishna and killing him, while waking up, sleeping, whatever action he was performing, is thinking about Krishna. Whenever the things are connected to Krishna, they become transcendental. Even though that is a fear, that fear became transcendental, and it became a reason for his liberation. Okay, so that's there's a difference in that fear. Okay, the fear which you are doing for your body, for your comfort, for your only thing, is different. But when that same fear, even though it's a negative thing, when it is connected to Krishna, when it is when it is connected to the Krishna, then that becomes a transcendental activity that can give you liberation. So that's good point, Prabhuji. So now Shokam. Any example from scriptures for Shokam? And when Duryodhana went to Indraprastha, right? Indraprastha was just opened. Indraprastha was made by Maya, demon Maya, and he created so many illusions in that Indraprastha. Right? Indraprastha was kingdom or the palace which was made for the Pandavas. So the illusions are so much so that you see that there is some kind of a pool there, but it's not a pool. You can just walk upon it. And sometimes you see a pool, it's a real pool, but it doesn't look like a pool. You walk on it and you fell down. Same thing happened to Duryodhana. He fell down into the ditch or into that pool of water. Then some servants there, they laughed at him after Duryodhana's ignorance. They told him that there is a pool, but he didn't listen to them. He went and fell down there. Now he took it to his heart so much, and his mind was putting that grief in him, like, it was that mind was pushing that grief, that, what kind of a king are you? You got offended by a servants of Pandavas. That was a hurting thing for him. So that kind of thoughts pushed by his mind, he was ready to give up his life. He was ready to self-immolate. That was the action. It is there in Mahabharat. I read this story a long time back, but anyway, so he was ready to give up his life by burning himself in the fire just because he got offended. That is shokam. Something happened in previous life, something happened somewhere before, and you're taking actions upon that. Now you're taking your mind is pushing that insult. Mind is pushing that uh, grief in you. Hey, look, you went through this, like you fell down there, you did this, you did that, you did that. So what is the point of that? What are we achieving out of it? When Duryodhana was going through this example, like he was ready to self-immolate. Then a lot of Dhritarashtra was pleading from outside, and he almost burnt his palace. And Shakuni came and promised him that he will make Pandavas lose with with that dice he had, that magical dice he had with him, and that's when he got controlled. That's where he came out of that grief. So that is the grief. Everyone makes mistakes, everyone gets into mistakes and they fall down somewhere or there, but still, does it mean that we torture ourselves for what we have done before? No, that is not the right point. The other extreme of that is like, can we just take it casually and do it again? No, that is not the right way. Also, there are two extremes for everything, right? The real thing is like, yes, you have made a mistake, note it down, have a lesson, learn a lesson from it, don't repeat it, and move forward. If you don't move forward, you'll be tortured again and again, and you cannot run the present life. And also, if you don't take a lesson, and if you completely forget about it, then what happens? We become reckless. We don't care for anyone. We don't care for the emotions. We don't care. We become insensitive to a lot of things. So that shokam is one of the examples I was thinking. Vishadam is moroseness, madam illusion. Okay. So Vishadam is moroseness, is a similar thing. So that being said, Durmeda, we talked about Vimunchati, give up. So there are like this, Krishna explains, there are this determination can also be in three forms: in mode of goodness, mode of ignorance, and mode of passion. Okay. Thank you very much for listening to me. Please share your realizations, and if you want to share anything else also, please feel free to do so. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Hari Kishore Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada ji. Hare
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Two things. One is we have a very senior Vaishnav who has joined this forum today. One of the earliest members of ICNJ, His Grace Dhir Govind Das, disciple of Loknath Swami, Simeshwar Prabhu's godbrother. So let us greet him with a loud Haribol. 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 Haribol.
I'm sorry, I'm not joining the session. Haribol.
The other thing is you very nicely explained how to tackle fear by keeping a journal and writing down worst case scenario and what it is that you can do about it. So I wanted to share Madhupati Prabhu's instruction in this matter and how we can spiritualize even fear. So when we were new to the country, the first time in India, mostly everyone lives with joint families. So you have a support structure. And then you come over here and you're all on your own. So it's a great experience. But then there was always this fear at the back of my mind. What will happen to Shachirani and Rohil if I die? And death can come anytime. And that used to be a big tension. So one day Madhupati Prabhu asked me, what do you think? So I told him, Prabhu, this is what I'm. So he asked me a question. Okay, tomorrow you die. Will your family also die? So I said, no. So he says, who do you think is actually taking care of them? Do you think you're the one who's taking care of them? You're earning money, you're buying the groceries, you're providing shelter. You think you're the one who's doing it? So tomorrow, if you die, if you're the one who's doing it, then, they won't be able to survive. But you say they'll continue. Life will go on. Who's doing it? So keep in mind that whatever it is Krishna who does it. And then the instruction, which is that we get these fears. Sometimes they are real, sometimes they are irrational. So what you said is confronting the fear and breaking it into small pieces helps put it into perspective. But very importantly also, fear is just an opportunity for us to depend more on Krishna. We should do to the best of whatever we can to tackle it. But hey Krishna, whatever is your wish, it is. So these are just, whether good times, bad times, fear, confidence, whatever, are just opportunities for us to think of Krishna and come closer to him. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Very good point, Prabhuji. Yes. So, yes, our fear should direct. There are two things I want to say here. There are two things here. Whatever action we want to perform, right? It is always, if you want to achieve something, it is always about two things. One is our own action. And the second thing is mercy. Right? We learned about these two things in the Damodar Leela. Damodar Leela, what happens, right? Mother was trying to tie a rope for Damodar. She was not giving up because it was that rope was always short by 2 inches. So again and again and again, Yashamati Maya, she's trying to bind Krishna again and again. But at the end, Krishna's mercy comes in and that helps her tie the rope. So in the similar way, any result we have to think about it. If we want to achieve something, it's always includes two parts to it. The first part is our action. Are we doing action for it? Second part is the mercy. Even you do action, there may not be mercy also, right? So what I'm trying to say from this point is that we have to perform an action in any case. We have to perform an action and then the mercy comes in. So our fears, we can divert them to Krishna, and just by diverting them to Krishna is not going to help. It's going to help like mentally, but what kind of action are you taking for that? Did you do some homework for it? Did you, maybe these two are two different things, but I'm just trying to mingle two apples and oranges here. But my understanding or my point here is like, we depend on Krishna. I remember Subha Vilash Prabhu mentioning that you have to perform action in such a way that you think that there is no one to help you. That action should be performed in such a perfection, in such a way that there is no one to help you. And at the same time, we have to perform, we have to go to Krishna and pray to Krishna mercifully for his mercy in such a way that whatever actions we have performed is not going to work in any way. It's just mercy of the Krishna which will depend. So to put it on the plate, there are two things for anything to happen, for any outcome to come. The first thing is action. That action should be performed in such a depth, in such a level that we think that there is no one to help you or to put a to give you the support. The second part is, which is a higher part, which is important part, that we go to Krishna and tell them that, I have performed this, but doesn't matter. your mercy is the one which will run anything, run the show, which can give the mercy. So these two things should be there. That's what I want to say, Prabhuji. Thank you. Any other points?
Hare Krishna, Vedanat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, when it comes to fear, I think there is one sloka in second chapter where Lord explains, because of the attachment we have for objects, so that leads us, if we don't get that right, when we are attached with the whatever the material object, and then we don't possess that, and that leads us to the all sorts of anger, and because the thought that I cannot get that is also kind of a fear, right, Prabhuji? I'm not able to have that object, and due to which all the frustration, anger, and fear, everything gets manifested. So I just came to my mind that the underlying is the attachment. We have false attachments to the material things. Thank you, Prabhu. I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, good point, Prabhuji. Yeah, fear is fear of losing something, fear of losing loved ones, fear of losing something which we're attached to, fear of what will happen if this something happens. Yeah, this is all attachment in this material world. And all these are real. All these are real in the sense like all these things are possible. But the solution, yeah, that's true. You're right, Prabhuji. Fear is because of the attachment. At the same time, the solution, we're talking about modes of nature, right? When we talk of modes of nature, we're not talking about the transcendental mode, right? When it comes to the transcendental mode, a devotee will be completely dependent on Krishna. Devotee will know about attachments and detachments. He knows what is real, what is non-real, what is material, what is spiritual. That is mode of transcendence. But when we're talking, when Lord is categorizing here different activities in the modes of nature, like mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. So what we're trying to talk about is for general purpose, general people, like who doesn't have the knowledge of other general category of people, not for the devotees or not for the people like people at the sannyasa level who are not attached to this material world. Okay, but your point is right, Prabhu. Yeah, that is a higher level. That is, yeah, bigger level. Same thing with Amrita and Prabhu's point also. Now fear, we can divert it towards Krishna's bhakti. It's very nice point. Yeah, but it's the higher level, not in the modes of nature level. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you all for listening to me and giving me opportunity to speak about this Bhagavad Gita. I'll give it out to Simhesh Prabhu. Simhesh Prabhu, over to you. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I think Simeshwar Prabhu does his DT Seva. So he must be tied up on that. But if no one has a question or a comment, we can bring it to a close.
Okay, Prabhuji. Sure.
Anyone has a comment or a question? Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very much
Hey, one
for
second.
taking class. Vanchakalpa, Charukescha,
Sakalakalpascha, Kripasiddhobhya eva cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha.
Vaishnav Vrinda ki
Jai.
Jai.
Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita ki
Jai.
Jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki
Jai.
Jai. Srila Prabhupada
Hare
ki
Krishna.
Jai.
Jai. Gaur Premanand.
Hari Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hari.
Hari
Hari
Hari.
Hari Hari
Hare
Bol.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Kishore
Hari
Prabhu.
Kishore Prabhu. Wonderful
Thank you
class.
all.
Thank you,
Thank
Hari.
you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.